Americans are struggling to afford car payments, and for many, it's causing financial hardship. New car payments have now reached $749, with some above $1,000. Can you imagine? I cannot imagine having a car payment $700, let alone $1,000 a month. So how did we get to this point? This is absolutely insane. $749 is more than I paid for my entire first car. I'm curious to know how much you paid for your first car. Let me know down in the comments. So with the rising cost of just about everything, Americans are carrying more than $1.66 trillion in auto loan debt, with borrowers now falling behind. The Consumer Federation of America reports that delinquencies and defaults are at a pace that exceeds pre-pandemic levels and rivals the years immediately preceding the 2008 economic crisis. So let's get into some of the causes of this crisis, and later I want to share with you some of the most ridiculous car price markups during the pandemic. Some of these are crazy. Wait till you hear these. Hey, I want you to know that I do these types of videos to help provide some education about what's happening out there in the marketplace. I don't do it I don't want to scare people. I don't do it as just a doom and gloom type topic. I want people to actually understand what's happening and get some pointers, or at least think through the numbers more before they get themselves into this type of situation. Now let's get back to it. So one of the causes obviously are car prices. Supply chain disruptions during the pandemic obviously limited new car production, pushing demand and prices for both new and used cars to historic highs. New car prices are now over $50,000, which is a new record. Inflation increased manufacturing and labor costs, as well as the cost of materials to build these cars or to fix older cars. And also, we really like our larger vehicles. Americans love their trucks and SUVs, which are more expensive than a standard sedan. So, of course, we're spending more on automobiles. Interest rates also play a big part in this. Average interest rates are up compared to the low interest rate environment we had for several years. Not only that, but loan terms are getting longer and longer, with financing extending to 72 months, even 84 months. And I've even heard that there might be a 96-month car loan out there somewhere, which I feel is just absolutely crazy. So these long extended loans are just locking people into debt for many, many years. And as I said earlier, the average monthly payment for a new car is now around $749, with some borrowers having payments of $1,000 or more. Not only have the car payments gone up and interest rates been higher, but insurance costs have gone way up as well. The insurance it takes to cover some of these new vehicles is absolutely insane. So let me know down in the comments if you've seen your insurance skyrocket over the past few years. I know mine was going up. However, my insurance agent reached out to me and said he noticed it was going up. He wanted to, he decided to shop it around other carriers, was able to save me some money. So it's really good to have an insurance agent that is looking out for your best interest. So let's talk about some of the signs of distress. And auto loan delinquencies are the obvious one, and they're at the highest level in decades, particularly among subprime borrowers. According to new data from Fitch Ratings, a record share of subprime borrowers are delinquent on car payments. 6.65% were at least 60 days behind in October. That's the highest going back over 30 years. And according to a CBS News article, more than 2.2 million vehicles have already been repossessed this year, a number expected to climb past 3 million by the end of 2025, which would be in line with what happened during the Great Recession. So many borrowers are now what's called upside down on their loans, meaning they owe more than the car is actually worth, which we all should know this, right? When you buy a new car, it goes down in value as soon as you drive it off the lot. So if you're 2 years into your auto loan and you've decided, you know what, the payment's just too much, I need to do something different, well, it's going to be very difficult to sell that car since it's upside down. And also for using it as a trade-in because you're going to have to incur most likely more debt. So it's just a really tough situation when the cars are upside down, meaning owing more than they're worth. Some subprime auto lenders have now filed for bankruptcy, potentially signaling a bigger systemic problem for the overall economy. Not only that, but auto loan delinquencies can be seen as an early indicator of broader consumer financial distress. You see, if people are having a hard time making payments on cars, they may also start having a tough time keeping up with other bills. Another sign of distress in the market is that dealerships are seeing a buildup of unsold new cars as consumers just can't afford them any longer. Are you seeing the same thing? I know I'm seeing full car lots in my area. So before I share some thoughts about things to consider before buying and financing a car, here are some of the cars on the list of ridiculous dealer markups according to a CarBuzz article published at the beginning of the year. Let's get started with the 2021 Ford Bronco with a 35% markup according to CarBuzz. The original MSRP $28,500 and for the first edition $56,915. The highest dealer price according to CarBuzz was over $76,000 for that first edition Bronco, with a value of $33,000 to $48,000 at the time of the article. All right, so the second car I want to go over is the 2022 Honda Civic Si with a 55% markup. The original MSRP was $27,500. The highest dealer price was over $42,600, with a value of $25,000 to $31,000 at the time of this article. Now, those were two fairly, I got to be careful there, fairly affordable compared to the next two that I want to share. Now, do I think those two were affordable? I guess for some people they are, but I still think new car prices are just outrageous. But here are two that are extremely high priced, okay? The 2023 Chevrolet Corvette Z06 with a 256% markup. The original MSRP $105,300. The highest dealer price was over $375,000, with a value of $115,000 to $135,000 at the time of this article. And the final one that I want to share with you is the 2023 Dodge Challenger SRT Demon 170 with nearly a 300% markup. The original MSRP around $96,000. The highest dealer price was just over $386,000 with a value of $150,000 to $300,000 at the time of this CarBuzz article. Wow. Now, those are just 4 of the 10 that they include. So if you want to see the other 6 vehicles that are on their list, I've put the link down in the description with the other links for the sources of this video. If you or somebody you know are struggling with a car payment, you definitely should reach out to the lender to potentially look at a loan modification or some other type of solution to help get you through this situation. And if you need to buy a car and use financing, here's a good rule of thumb. It's called the 24-10 rule, meaning you're going to put at least 20% down on the car. You're going to finance for no longer than 4 years, and the total cost needs to be below 10% of your gross monthly income. The cost meaning not only the car payment, but insurance, gas, and maintenance. And then, of course, keep your vehicle running for as long as possible. As the car market continues down this same path, it's obviously not going to be sustainable. I just hope that you and people you know don't get stuck in one of these situations. Hey, if you like this video, let me know. Hit the like button. Would love it if you also subscribe to the channel. And if you think somebody else can get some value from this video, feel free to share it with them, all right? Until next time, see you later.